Good afternoon. My name is Robin Rich. I am the 7th and 8th grade ELA teacher. This is my 34th year in the classroom, 32 or 31 in middle school. I've been a language arts teacher, literacy teacher for 31 years. So I'm hoping my experience and my time in the classroom really help build a positive experience for your kids. So in my ELA classroom, I have three really big power standard areas that I work on. Reading for pleasure, reading for instruction, reading to learn, reading to find out. Writing, whether it be independent journaling, writing narratives, poetry, informational text, research, and then vocabulary, which pulls it all together. The more you read, the better you build a vocabulary. The better vocabulary you have, the better writer you'll be. So those are my three big power areas. We do grammar and mechanics and spelling to some extent. We'll be using a new program purchased by the district called MyPath, and that will help build some of those gaps in the grammar, mechanics, spelling, that kind of stuff. So in my classroom, I try to give students a lot of voice and certainly a lot of choice, but that comes with a lot of responsibility. So in order to have choice and responsibility as a 7th or 8th grader, my number one rule is be respectful and kind. And that means if, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm talking, you're not. And if I'm talking, please stay seated unless you suddenly spontaneously combust, or you need to really go to the bathroom or you're feeling sick. But otherwise, if it can wait, let it wait until instruction is done. So, I mean, it's nothing, punitive. It's basically, please be respectful and be kind. The other big thing this year, I know you've heard it a million times, but I can't say it loudly enough. If we want school to stay open for the year, we have to follow the CDC guidelines. That means wear a face covering, wash your hands repeatedly, and in the classroom, 3 feet, you have to sit 3 feet from your classmates wearing a mask. The only time you can take your mask off is if you're outside or in a designated area, and then you have to be 6 feet. If we follow these CDC guidelines religiously and we don't get lazy or complacent, then maybe we can stay here till June. And that's really my hope, because it's been a joy to be back with your kids. So as an academic teacher, you probably want to know how I grade things. I use a standard rubric for just about everything. So your students will receive rubrics sometimes prior to an assignment or a project, and we do at the middle school decided to stay with the 1 through 4 grading scale, but we did add in that 0.5 increment, so a student's assignment may not be quite a 3, but they have elements of a 3, but they still have some elements of a 2, so you might find your student as a 2.5. So 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and so on until 4. To get a 4, a student typically has to do an extension or show extended learning. It's not just getting a 100 that gets you a 4. So like I said, in my classroom, I really am a strong believer in choice and student voice, but in order for that to happen, my students really have to buy in and understand that if they choose it, they have to do it. That not doing is not an option. We have built-in RTI time, so if a student can't do it, there's always help, always, always, always help. We'll be delivering all of our instruction live or remote using Google Classroom, so all of your kids should have an opportunity to access the work here at school if they are in-person learners, as well as access the exact same assignment if they're home as remote learners. On Wednesdays, students who are in-person students do not have to come to school on Wednesdays. I'm available for only 1 hour a day. If they choose to come to school, where I can work with them in the gym. Otherwise, I'll be having office hours with my remote kids and planning my remote lessons and videotaping and things like that. So one of the things that we talk about is, well, exactly what are you going to be doing? Well, in 7th grade, we'll be doing a lot of understanding reading strategies for better comprehension and fluency in reading fiction and nonfiction. We're going to be learning some very discrete vocabulary acquisition skills, like how to use a dictionary. What's a thesaurus? What's the difference between a synonym and an antonym? How do you make sense? How do you connect something new that you've learned to something you already know? How do we use graphics and visuals to help better learn? And in writing, building fluency through journaling, understanding the different parts of writing, how to write a good lead, how to complete a plot diagram from the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution, things like that. In reading nonfiction, how do you use the different parts of the text to better make sense? Like how to use a heading, a title, a picture, a caption, how to use a glossary, how to use the index. So we're going to be looking at strategies to help you better learn how to read different types of text. So overall, the one thing that I understand, with kids I've been teaching now for over 30 years is if they buy into what you're doing, they're going to have a better time doing it. If you make it fun and engaging, they're going to buy into it. So I truly believe in giving kids a choice and giving them a voice. However, I certainly need support from home, that if a student chooses a book or chooses an assignment, please help them do it, help them finish it. Ask your kids what they're reading, read with them. I've seen amazing things with kids reading to their siblings. Have your student read to the cat, read to the dog. I mean, it's amazing what those types of experiences can do for kids. So in my room, it's all about the books. It's like, this room is like a swimming pool filled with books. So you throw them in the pool, you give them time to practice, and you hopefully help them develop that love for this skill. So I really look forward to a great year. I'm so grateful to be back, and I really look forward to spending the year with your kids. So if you ever have any questions, send me an email, shoot me a quick phone call. I do have a website which I'll post later, but that's always a source of information as well. So we're in this together, and I hope to see you all before too long. Have a great afternoon.